Hello all. I hope you're all doing good. So it's a big beginning kind of thing, right? Tuesday. Yeah. Anyways, the previous frames, right? You would have seen some coins have been arranged in my whiteboard, and I was tilting my mobile to show you different perceptions, right? So that's what I'm going to talk to you in a minute, kind of thing. The arrangement of coins is static, okay, in the board. Okay, when I say static, it has been already arranged in a manner. Okay, only my perception is going to change. Okay, how when I say the coins in a front view, it gives me one shape. When I going to tilt my mobile in another direction, it is going to give me another shape, kind of thing. So here you could get a one point, like the resources is same. Okay, only the functionality or the perception, right, that is derived out of the resources is different. So it's a kind of reusable model, right? So regarding this reusable model only, I'm going to talk you in a few seconds, kind of thing. Let's see how far it could be related to programming stuff. Good. So today, my day was really good. Actually, I had very beautiful discussions with my senior developers. So it was a really a learning and also recalling stuffs, best practices kind of thing. Mm, yeah. While signing off for the day, right? Fortunately, in the previous frames of my video, you would have seen some coin arrangements in my whiteboard, right? That actually impressed me in a way that it actually recalled me to think about one of the best practices that we can always follow in programming, irrespective of any languages. That best practice is, what is it? Reusability of code. That actually matters a lot. So as a programmer, right, we always, whenever we come across with any requirements, we get tempted to go with a brute force model of implementation. Just write some lines of code so that the lines of code will execute and the functionality will get accomplished. Yeah, it is appreciable that we are capable of making a program to execute in a way that our mind wants it to execute. Yeah, it's really appreciable. But the most recommended way, what is it? How far the implementation, the code that we write is maintainable, how far our code is lively, and how far our code is like more and more reusable for different purposes or different uh, peers, peer developers or programmers to use it, reuse it, kind of thing. That way, our code should be happening out. Okay, it's a far beyond about just implementing the functionality. It's about implementing a functionality in a more proficient way, a more likable way, kind of thing. You can implement it. For example, I'll give you an instance. Consider you are writing a function or a method, okay, which will actually rotate an object in a particular angle, probably 90-degree kind of thing, okay. But the object might be of different case. Probably object might be in the shape of different types, like one might be in a triangular, one might be in a square model, another one might be in a rhombus model, kind of thing, or hexagonal kind of thing, whatever may be the shapes. So in a raw type of programming, what we will get attempt to write is like, okay, write a switch case or if else condition. Okay, if this entity comes into picture, execute this block of code. If this entity a triangular entity comes into picture, execute this block of code. If a rhombus comes into picture, execute this block of code, kind of thing. Easily will implement it. Yeah, typically it is very easy to implement. At the same time, it is working artifact. I agree upon that perfectly. It will work. But if you think about the code maintainability, and if you think from long run perspective, in real time entities, real time world, the shapes and the entity counts are going to be n. They cannot be always finite. It's going to be infinite, right? If we keep on increasing these conditions, right, switch condition or if conditions, right, over the period of time, it will even span around like thousands of lines of code, maybe hundreds of lines of code. But maintenance will be completely chaos in manager. And beyond maintenance, it could lot in a lot way it could affect the performance also. See, for example, if you check, you have almost 10 different conditions and you are going to pass only one entity, and for all the for that single one entity, it will check for all the possible conditions until it gets passed on. Okay, so it's all about wastage of execution time, wastage of resources, lot of things are there. But rather than implementing this kind of traditional controlling manner, you can go with some kind of implementations like interfaces. Okay, where you'll have a single interface with all possible functionalities, probably like rotate. Okay, so one of the functionality. Okay, this interface can be implemented in any of your dynamic entities, be it a square model or be it a triangular model or be it a rhombus model, anything, you can implement it. So here you might ask me, okay, here also I'm writing a code, there also I'm writing a code. There you can say that I'm just writing some lines of code alone, but here I'm creating new entities, new classes itself. How far it is efficient? You can always ask me about that part. Yeah, but it is really efficient in terms of logically you're classifying your operations. Okay, you are not going to repeat the same lines of code again and again for different conditions. Okay, at the same time, you're going to have a semantic analysis, a semantic classification of your workflow, programming workflow, which would definitely give a liveliness of your code in a long run. So whoever comes, okay, as a new developer or a reviewer to check your code, right, they can easily understand like, okay, this interface is going to provide this functionality, and when I implement on different entities, that particular entity will be acted upon by this functionality. That's it. Simple. It's as simple as that. I don't have to go through a sequence of different if conditions like a linear lines. Reading through linear lines is actually a big hectic process, buddies. So try to implement programs in a way that they are much more reusable, much more maintainable, and most importantly, logical or semantically classified. Okay, so that in a long run our code will be more and more optimistic, will be more optimistic sense, it will be more and more scalable in nature. Okay, so cheer up guys, thanks a lot for your watching this video. Bye bye. Any comments, suggestions, please free to post it out. I'm always free to learn from every one of us. Okay, see you. Bye bye. Thank you.